Hello everyone, welcome to Ketu in the fourth house of your chart, fourth from your ascendant in your birth chart, fourth in your D9 as well, and definitely application is there from the moon Chandra Lagna chart. If you have a Western horoscope, of course, make sure you have a sign for a house system. Better still, get a sidereal chart. Check the link at the bottom of my description box. Let's go, because this is a very seminal turning point when you are born with Ketu in the fourth house. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below, and of course if the video is good, give it a thumbs up. Let's go. What is the fourth house of your chart? First of all, everybody, it's the mother, it's the home, it's the early childhood, it's the foundation of your life itself. But in Vedic astrology, we know it's more than just nurturing. It's your inner sense of happiness, well-being. What makes you happy? What makes you feel secure? Are you a secure person or an insecure person? We can see it all by the condition of the fourth house. And of course, the fourth house throughout life is property, landed interest. Where do you live? What is your domestic situation like? Is it harmonious, inharmonious? All depends on the fourth house. On a finer note, fourth house rules vehicles. Things which get us around in life, give us independence, freedom, actually, make us feel like we can go where we want and then come back home again. Cars, motorcycles, whatever is your mode of transport. Who is Ketu? Ketu is a south node of the moon, in the opposite sign to Rahu, who is the north node. Ketu is actually a headless being. He doesn't see anything material. He's totally spiritual. He represents keys, and he is the key to moksha, liberation. He's the only planet who will actually enable you to get free from this maya and illusion and to find the way out of this material prison house. But in addition to this, he is definitely a flag, a past life siddhi accomplishment wherever he is in your chart, which you need to understand deeply. He is also direct link to past life situation. Now, all of the planets represent past life karmas, but Ketu is like a wormhole in space. He's like a time warp. He directly takes you into your past life experience. Now, Ketu is very like Mangala. Like Mangala, he can lead an army. He's a very disciplined being when he is good in your chart, but completely lacking direction when he is afflicted. Ketu is angry, impatient, and extremely violent under affliction. And Ketu can give mathematical ability, technical ability with small machines like computers especially, and even astrological ability, because he is terribly intuitive. He doesn't see anything externally. All of his knowledge comes from within. However, when afflicted, he can be a very separatist tendency. As I say, he can lead to disruption and even mistakes. So why is the fourth house then such a seminal placement for this Ketu south node? Well, it's just like first house, seventh house, 10th house. Ketu in these Kendra houses means you have taken birth now to churn some past karmas in a big way. It's a turning point in your evolutionary destiny. But what are the karmas you are churning? What is the inner factor which is driving you to have this Ketu placement? You can only see it by the sign. Check the sign of Ketu on my channel, Ketu Karmas, all signs. I will actually put the link below and at the end of this video. Integrate sign with the house placement. What are you getting rid of? What are you churning up? You've got to check the sign. Now, as we all know, the fourth house is the mother, biological mother who gave birth to you. If Ketu is here, without doubt, there was an extremely strong attachment to her. Sometimes loss can occur, sometimes separation, differences, definitely. It all depends on the strength of Ketu by sign and the aspects coming towards Ketu. But Ketu is your past life identity. This is all about connection to biological mother, connected to that. You were close together last life in some relationship situation. Could have been anything at all. I don't want to list all the possibilities, but you can imagine you were close to this soul who has become your mother. K2 is extreme situations. One or the other will happen. There can be separation, difficulty, differences of opinion, an impossible situation with your mother. You cannot connect to her. Emotionally, there can be distance, but there can be extremely strong connections. I've seen K2, fourth house, extremely strong connection to the biological mother, like she is almost soulmate. It is so close. Sometimes, even if you are very strongly bonded with your mother, you feel a little bit too bonded, like too close, like it's too overwhelming sometimes. It can be smother love. It can be either way. So this is the thing, that it's not an easy relationship. Even when it's good, it's a really dramatic working out of past life karma happening with the mother relationship. But you see, early home is disturbed as well. Home environment, K2 here, something goes, some big change, loss can occur. You can leave country of your birth, or there can be changes in security, difficulties happening there. Once again, benefics help, but there is still some changeable sense of insecurity there. And this stays with you all life. This is an emotionally vulnerable situation. K2 always feels a little bit vulnerable, a little bit unsure emotionally. So later in life, connecting to people emotionally can become difficult. This K2 fourth house can put up a big barrier towards others, trying to protect their own sensitivity. And so later in life, in your own homes, you tend to become very, very restless, extremely restless, hard to live with sometimes, touchy, edgy. And you just got to get out of the home frequently. You just can't settle domestically. This is frequently seen. But K2 is past siddhi, past talent. You just have an innate way of dealing with domestic concerns, property matters. You can have talent here. Any talent depending on the sign and planet aspecting. You can have interior decoration talent. You can have talent buying, selling, making huge money from property concerns, or you're just very canny dealing with property landed interest. So much depends on the other planets, like Moon, Jupiter help bring you profit, Venus as well, by the way. But then when you have Saturn, Mars aspecting with this K2, it becomes a little more difficult. You see, everybody, K2 is the wandering sadhu. So how can he be happy in this home? So, as I've just said, you have to get out of the home frequently. Even if you just go for like a run around the block or something, go for a walk, you have to get out of the home. It can stifle you if you are there too long inside. Ketu becomes unsettled domestically. He needs freedom from those four walls. That's the thing. Because, of course, Rahu is pulling towards public arena, success, career success, prominence, being somebody, doing something big in the world. But even when you get that, once again, there's going to be dissatisfaction. The pull is there, but the satisfaction doesn't always come. You just have to do it for the journey very often. That's the thing. You see, past life, you didn't get this success. You were not so famous. You were not well known. You did not get acclaim. This life, you are desiring it compulsively. Rahu is compulsive. Push, must have status, must have success. But when you get the success, it won't satisfy you either. You will find that something makes you more insecure being successful than before. Frequently, rise, fall happens. Where you get to the top, then you fall fast. Then you start climbing up again. This is the way it's going to go right throughout life with this Rahu Ketu axis. But it won't go on forever because Ketu is in the fourth house. Just like first house, seventh house, it's a karmic switch point. I spoke about that beginning of the video. When will the switch happen? It will happen late in life because Ketu is fourth house. Something happens later in life, even very old age, some people, but later in life there's an event, there's a meeting, there's something happens that switches you. philosophically, spiritually, religiously even. Something changes, something switches, and you finally find security. Finally, you find purpose in life, but you have to wait some time. When it does happen, though, it's really big. Check out the Ketu karmas in all the signs up on your screen right now. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now, and God bless you all.